Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder for SportsNola.com. It's our first NBC weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank. 20 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and another 10 on the North Shore and beyond. So check them out at First NBC Bank. Of course, it's a big weekend again for football. High school football galore. Games all over the place. Of course, you can watch on a tape-delayed basis. John Curtis and East St. John on WHNO Channel 20. John Curtis among the top 3 teams in the nation now after their win last week. They're awfully good, Lenny.
They really are, and I mean they've really got a chance to be maybe, and this is saying a lot, the best Curtis team ever, and that is really saying something. A tremendous amount of talent, and it's really a dichotomy in this game. I mean, East St. John has really got a whole community rallying around them for everything that they've been through since Hurricane Isaac, and becoming almost the face of what is going on in reserve and Laplace and such. But John Curtis, again, they've got a chance to be arguably their best team ever.
Coach Curtis and Phil Banco, close friends. Coach Banco worked with Coach Curtis previously, so they will get along fine other than playing the game, I am sure. Of course, Ken Trahan's original Prep Football Report Friday night, 9 radio stations, and, of course, streamed live here at SportsNola.com, 6 p.m. to midnight. Check it out on WGSO 990 AM locally. And we'll have a big game on WGSO Saturday night through SportsNola.com with Rummel and St. Augustine in a huge matchup between 5A and 4A powers. The Saints, meanwhile, go to Carolina this weekend and take on the Panthers. And you hate to say must win. It's not a must win, but it's a need win for sure.
It's pretty close to that, I would think. And I think you'll see a greater sense of urgency and, all the things that go with that. The good news is the Saints have won the last 4 in this series. Now, obviously, Cam Newton, the second year, he's going to get better and better. Based on what happened last week and the challenges that Robert Griffin III presented from the Redskins, you're facing a very similar type quarterback, a much bigger quarterback, a harder to bring down quarterback in Newton. So the Saints are going to have to be much better in really all 3 phases of the game this week.
But here's the advantage. The Saints know how to prepare for this team, unlike Washington last week. They had no clue what to look for. A clue, but not any evidence or any tape. They have a lot of tape and a lot of evidence on the Panthers. So I think that will benefit them, and they're innocent until proven guilty. I like the Saints to pull off a road win.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that's a big deal, and that you really didn't know what to expect out of the Redskins. And you've seen the Panthers one game this year on film. Obviously, you got all 16 games last year on film. The challenge is, of course, it is on the road, although this franchise in the Sean Payton era has been an outstanding road team.
Of course, LSU gets Idaho, ho-hum, so they'll play the game anyway, and a lot of people will get to play, and then the real season starts.
Exactly. You're waiting on Auburn to come to town, or rather, I should say the Tigers to go to Auburn in the Battle of the Tigers a week from Saturday. You get another basic bye week after that with Towson coming in, and then it really starts for real at that point, because all of the cupcakes are over, and then it is a week-by-week grind in the SEC.
Tulane is off. The focus still remains on a young man that was seriously injured.
Yeah, Devon Walker. It's an unfortunate story. Continue to get day-by-day progress. Waiting to hear some really good news to come out of Tulsa, but it's going to be. You hate to use analogies like this, but it is a marathon and not a sprint in this. It's going to be a very, long-term recovery for him, and there are going to be small steps, if you will, day by day in his progress. Did some rehab for the first time really yesterday, and hopefully you see a positive end to the story.
Sports NOLA TV on Monday night, 6 p.m. on WHNO Channel 20. Saints Hall of Famer Derlin Moore will be our special guest. Of course, the New Orleans Quarterback Club Monday at noon at Manning's Restaurant with Derlin Moore is going to speak there as well. Plus, we'll have outstanding speakers such as Verge Osbury, the Senior Associate Athletic Director at LSU, and Doug Lichtenberger, Assistant AD from Tulane, and 8 high school coaches who will be there to share at Manning's on Monday as well at noon. We hope you will be there this coming Monday. And, of course, a new TV show here on WHNO to talk about as well.
Right. Debuted Wednesday. It'll be here every week. Prep Recruiting Insider, Ken Berthelot, Renee Nadeau, taking kind of an inside look at what is going on in the world of high school recruiting. We'll get updates on Renee's big board and who he likes out there right now. He's got Kenneth Santamarina, the big offensive tackle from McDonough 35, number 1 on his board. A lot of great players, and this is really just a great area, for producing some outstanding talent. Renee will keep you up to date on what's going on with that. That's Wednesdays at 6 o'clock here on WHNO.
All right. As always, a pleasure, Lenny. Have a good weekend.
We'll see you Monday.
All right, and we appreciate you as well for coming to SportsNola.com. Come all the time. This is where you want to be. It's where First NBC Bank can be found, as well as in all their branches all throughout the metropolitan area and beyond. For First NBC Bank and for Lenny, I'm Ken Trahan. Have a great weekend and God bless.